Welcome to the news. Stay to the end to find out how we get there. Alright, so today we're talking about high-ticket sales. Alright, yeah, high-ticket sales. So it's just kind of interesting because it's a unique industry, I suppose you could say, because there is something specific regarding coaches and consultants, and there's also the creator industry, and sort of the crossover and the connection is trying to be able to assist creators in the high-ticket sales instance regarding high-ticket sales as an industry, as a potential to try to earn income, high income, because people are already pulling leads in essence. Like there's the creator industry and they have the potential to be coaches, consultants, be hired. Like imagine if you could hire someone who is notorious for one thing or another in life, whether they're an influencer, whether they're someone who's got moxie in certain industries, they've got pull, they've got weight, they've got facilitatable skills that are addressable, that are unique, that are interesting, and so on and so forth. The people that close the people to work with them are a significant closing side to the sales industry, which corresponds almost to like the creator industry in a unique fashion, because like certain aspects of creating takes a lot of work, time, energy, effort, and closing sales at the same time is not necessarily one of them. So you're sort of being like a temporary, like a fractional shares assistant to these larger sort of energy folk regarding like influencers and such people that could be consultants, coaches, consulting, and things of this nature, to be able to help close them. Simply speaking, to be able to search for the influencer databases and try to be a salesperson closer for different programs and processes that they have in place, which means you have to do a bit of scouting, a bit of scrounging to be able to send some time, energy, and effort out there to be able to connect with different mentors, different coaches, consultants, and things of this nature that have a high-ticket process and program, because they're high-value people in high-value places, high-value skills, and just being able to connect with these folks and try to be a salesperson for them helps to connect the marketplaces and that are out there and the people, which is the value, the primary force and source of value that is sort of being connected to the demand that's out there, that's trying to connect results with a given audience, so to speak, and the supply that is the audience, and getting what they want, and the fulfillment, if you will, and the sort of the nature of the industry that relates to corresponding demand to an influencer innately corresponds to developing leads dynamically and directly into a sales flow pipeline, into a process that connects to a calendar fulfillment scenario, where in essence you're trying to mosey alongside and parallel of an existing energy that corresponds to a suction regarding certain aspects of influencers that are already innately drawing people in, and a gravity innately drawing people in, so innately that they can show up on their calendars to be able to connect with these people, to be able to try to resonate with their high-value skills, high-value, in essence, resonating processes, to try to directly shortchange, in other words, the process and the line to get to results that they have already gotten to, which is why they are at the top and attracting such high gravity, is what you would be paying for, what people would want to be paying for in terms of aligning with influencers and like coaching processes and programs to connect with the circuitry of the high frequency or high reverberation outcome sort of, end results that have already been attained by influencers, by certain coaches, and to be able to align with that sometimes takes some dollars to be able to get in front of other people that might want to also share time and space with that person, because they are in high demand, which is why they have high followings, high audiences, and therefore high resonance with the globe, with the global marketplaces. And so therefore you're just helping to try to mitigate some of the intensity of the energy that comes into this influencer or coach or process that's already innately, organically generating high demand. And by trying to step in and message people, ask people around if you can assist them as a salesperson, you're attempting to do them a solid as like a fractional assistant. So you're an assistant to them, but in a fractional way, where you're just trying to mitigate some of the sales energy that they could be trying to parse into their process. And by being there, asking if you can be there to try to be a part of the team or the process, if you will, corresponds to an alignment with an existing number of other folks that are there trying to do this innately, organically, to try to, spread the nature of a product and a process across an influencer brand, across a coaching brand that in essence is aligning the value with the audience directly, and so you're taking on a piece of that responsibility and being rewarded in a commission in terms of like a small reward of what that portion of that alignment of taking on those tasks like an assistant would for a specific few tasks is where your commission is generated for parsing out and aligning with what is necessary to be done in terms of being a human connecting with another person, and like sort of tapering through the necessity of walking somebody through the door, the threshold of looking to change, and aligning with their interest, their focus, and the empathy that is necessary to try to guide them through it, the nature of the speed that they need to go to try to go through a threshold of trying to find change, trying to balance, the essence of spending somewhat of an investment to try to invest in change, to try to seek change, to try to cause a conversion in their own lives and status, to try to develop a unique essence of shifting of their own community to be a part of something that resonates at a different frequency, and that costs money. And so more or less there's appreciation for helping in this creator economy to align with people that are a similar likeness, other folks that are a similar likeness to the source energy, to the source creator, to the source influencer, someone who could be a fan but is on the selling side as opposed to the buying side, and can resonate with empathy to try to transmit value that sort of speaks to a sort of a double, acting as a double of the person that is the person that's being represented, to try to have alignment occur between the primary source of goods, of who the person is, what they represent, what their energy is like, and then an alignment of sort of yourself, of people that you can see flowing, being parallel with, or being in alignment with, in essence, because it's sort of like a side to the influencer industry that's not that it's untapped, it's just not always necessarily realized that there are external income sources for people who are creators to have a coaching process. And so it's almost like a gray area where there's a lot of money. There's like, I don't know, I think like close to $840 billion in this industry. So it's like in high demand, and just by being able to be present to also just speak on the phone or have a Zoom call with people, that you're participating in what is a sort of significant industry. And that's all for now. Thanks again, Dinky Tech and Change for Games Studios. Dinky T, Change for Games. Bye, peace, bye. And let's all remember to push for world peace every single day. Let's all remember to push for world peace every single day. Let's push for world peace every single day. And also, let's remember to try to clear the animal shelters. Let's clear all the animal shelters in the world. Let's clear all the animal shelters in the world, because we can foster all the shelter animals. We can adopt all the shelter animals in the world. We can rescue all the shelter animals in the world, and we can also hire the shelter animals as healers. We can also hire the shelter animals as healers all throughout the world, so that they don't have to be mistreated in animal shelters, and we can clear the animal shelters, and we can hire the shelter animals as healers throughout our communities. Hire the shelter animals as healers throughout our communities, because they also work for free, and they could use better purpose and use better jobs and be able to add value and be therapeutic energy for humans and humanity, to help us be more harmonious as humans and among humanity, for all the animals in the world, to clear all the animal shelters, to try to get them to transition their energy in terms of therapeutic energy to all humans, so we can clear the animal shelters to add value to humanity in terms of harmony if possible. And let's push for world peace every single day and clear the animal shelters every day. That's all for now. Thanks again, Dinky Tech and Change for Game Studios. Bye, peace, bye.